If you're at a play party and someone talks about sharing their mildest and wildest, what does that mean? I'm here with Reid from MeetUsAboutSex.com.
Cathy Vartuli from the IntimacyDojo.com. A play party, for those of you who are just tuning in, is the newfangled word for an orgy. And yes, there are orgies happening all over the place. What was the question?
If someone
Mildest
asks,
to wildest.
Yeah, I heard you share this, and I love it.
So I have I have a lot of ideas and views on how to throw play parties. There are lots of different kinds of designs, but the design that I like to use is where you have a welcoming circle, an ice-breaking circle at the beginning of the workshop, so that everyone's on the same page, so that people feel like they've met each other. And one of the ice-breaking exercises, one of the rounds for the welcome circle, is the mildest to wildest, which I think I got from Monique Darling,
who runs awesome play parties.
Who runs awesome play parties. And maybe that also, the mildest to wildest, came from Kamala Devi. So we all steal little things from each other's play parties because they work really well. So if I'm not accrediting it, I apologize. Please leave in the comments who I really got that from. And it might have existed in other communities as well. Yeah. I'm probably not the first person to ever come up with this ice-breaking exercise, which is you go around the circle, and you have people share what would be the mildest thing that could happen at the play party that they either do or watch or help somebody pull off. What's the mildest thing that as they're driving home from the evening, they're like, wow, this was a good event. And then what is the wildest thing? What is the wildest thing that you could watch or participate in or help somebody do? And you're walking home being like, or driving home being like, whoa, this was awesome. And then you have people share in a sentence or two what their mildest to wildest is, and that people could also pass. They don't have to share. They could just share one. But it's a great way for people to get to know each other and also to be like, I didn't even know you could ask for that. Yeah. I'm going to copy and paste that into my list of things I want to try to go for tonight or do at another party. So it's not about guaranteeing that any of it happens, but it's about getting people to think about what would be really nice for them on either side of the spectrum and getting them to share with each other.
Yeah, and I love how it tunes people in. I'm actually thinking about using that for regular parties too, just like having people go through a circle and share that, because it gets people tuned into what's important to them, and it lets other people help them create it. Yeah. And a lot of times for the mildest, it's like great conversation or a cuddle or a back massage or
just that everyone gets home safely.
Sometimes, but it helps people know, like, oh, that person asked for a massage. And I always encourage, like you've encouraged people too, but be very specific on what they want, because if they say a lot of sex, it's harder for people to get connected to that.
Whereas I want a foot rub while somebody makes out with me, then there might be somebody who's like, oh, I love giving foot rubs. Do you like foot rubs? I can give you a foot rub. And then somebody else is like, oh my God, like, I love kissing. I'll kiss you while you get a foot rub. And then when you share those specific things, it helps people figure out if they want to help.
And yeah, one person asked that he wanted to practice his hand sex at the last one. That would be a wild for him. He wanted to practice hand sex. And I think he got 4 or 5 requests during the evening. And he had a really good time. But people knew what to ask him for. And even if you don't want to do that thing, maybe you've already done it. Or maybe you changed your mind. That's okay. Now you have a dialogue going.
Yeah. If you're interested in more information about play parties, I go to readaboutsex.com/play party. I'll have more information at that link, and that link doesn't exist yet, so I gotta get on that. Gotta get off my butt. Yeah. So, what do you think? What would your mildest or wildest be? Leave a comment.
Thanks for tuning in, Sex Geek. If you would like to continue with the brain sex, do me a favor and click subscribe right here. If you'd like to watch me on social media, that's where you're gonna go. Next video, maybe? And if you really would like your own Sex Geek t-shirt, please click right here, right now. Boop. No, really, like,